Hello everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to create this dashboard, and it's a simple dashboard considering the level of details that we have available in the dataset, but still it's very useful to analyze the frequency of accidents basically anywhere in the United States. So you can pick any city, and there we have 4 years of data, or 5, we don't have the full years, but it's basically from 2016 to 2020. And it's very interesting. I'm sure that if you don't work with BI or business intelligence tools or any data visualization tools, this is going to be really useful for you. Let me know if you like it, and that's it. Thanks. As an example, I have selected New York City, and we are looking at the number of accidents month by month. And on the map, we can see a hot zone in the north, right? So it's a clear way to visualize data and how it impacts, especially when it comes to geographic data. This dataset was uploaded by Sobhan Moosavi in Kaggle, and here in this page you can find more information about it. By clicking here on this button, you can go to his website where he describes in detail the whole work that was done to create this dataset, and there's a huge level of detail, but for this example we're just gonna use some columns, okay? Special thanks to Sobhan. So let's create a new app here. I named it US Accidents Example. Using the script editor, let's load our data here in a new section, okay? The first thing here is to create a new connection with the folder. Here we have our file, but first we need this connection. I will name it as source. So creating the connection, we can insert our script by clicking here and selecting the table. Here we can see how many columns we have. We can remove them from our load or just rename them with another field name. Okay, let's insert the script here. And for now, I will name this table just as table, and let's load just the first 1,000 rows so that we can understand at least the main fields format. Loading the data here. Let's close Analyze Sheet. By clicking here on the Add Sheet button, we can insert here a table. As I already know the columns, I will just show you what kind of treatments we need to do. So I will add start time here. So in the start time column, this is when each accident started. So basically we have a function. We need a function to transform this into a date field. So it's already formatted, but we need to tell Qlik how it is formatted. So basically we need to change this for using the Datehatch function. So with this we're going to tell Qlik what's the date format that we have now. We're going to do the name of the field, so name of field, for example, and then let's tell them that in this case we have year first, and then we have month, day, after that hours, minutes, and seconds. So basically this is what we have to do, and after that we can use this column to create new fields such as year, month, and others. So basically I will just copy this one here. Let's go back to our script editor, and here in the start time, let's do this hashtag Datehatch function. This is the name of the column, and the current format is this one here. So let's just call it the same name as before, but then we can grab this piece here and create an year field using this. So with this function, we're gonna just grab the year from this date, and then let's call it year. Let's do the same for month. and then we can create another column with month and combining here with some other character, year. So we have a field with month and year to facilitate our visualization. Good. We also have latitude and longitude. So let's take these points here to create a point, actually. So using the geoMakePoint function, we can use the start latitude and start longitude here and use it on a map. Let's call it coordinates. But in my case, I don't know if you need to do the same, but in my case, I need to replace the dots for commas here. So basically, instead of just inserting the latitude and longitude columns, I need to replace here by using this function. Not a big issue, but this is necessary in my case. So now we have the main changes. Let's go ahead and load this data to see what we have. So start time, let's add here the new column that we just created, which is year. And then we have also month, year. In my case, it's in Portuguese, but that is not much difference. We can understand the name of the months. We just have 3 months here loaded. Let's just load some more rows here. Let's make it 50,000 rows. And now let's use a map here to display the points. So the first thing here we can do is create a new layer using the point layer. And we have one ID for each accident. So inserting ID key here, inserting ID here, and look in the location field we use coordinates. And the coordinates is the field that we just created, right? So using the geoMakePoint, this is why it's important to create this field. Here we have the points, but as a standard, this map comes limited with 4,000 points here. So basically, we need to come here in the general section and change this max visible objects to some other number. Let's put it 50,000 objects, for example. And now we can also filter down the state, for example. So we have here California, and if I select California, we can zoom in here in the state. All right. Each one of these points represents an accident, and we can see its detail by clicking here. So let's click selecting one of them. We have the start time. We also have the description and all the other details that we could use here. Description, for example, accident on country and county, sorry. Basically, that's it. Now let's create some charts here. So the first chart we're gonna make here is a bar chart using our month, year column, and as a measure, let's count the number of IDs, which is the number of accidents. So basically, we can count ID here, but as we don't know if we have duplicates or not, probably not, we can use the distinct argument to remove duplicates from this column. So number of accidents, let's format it as a number like this. And let's also add this in the master items so we can easily just use this column. So creating here. All right, so we now have a bar chart with some months. The problem is that it's not correctly sorted. So let's add it here again, and in the sorting option, let's pass month year to the top and change this option here. Let's sort it by an expression, and let's use the min function with the start time column. So this will make will make the chart respect the time accordingly to when it happened. So now we have the correct function. Let's just save it here. Now I will change some things here, like this gray background and the theme of this page. Actually, we could customize this page in many ways. There's Qlik theme, there are Qlik themes, there are many other options. Let's just make it here this Qlik classic. We can change the background color of this bar. So let's make this just like that to customize a little bit. And I have prepared here a CSS code to customize the background. So we can also, it's not an ordinary way to customize it, but we can use the custom objects, this multi KPI here. It has a CSS option in the appearance. But for that to work, we need to add a measure or dimension. So I will just add 1 here. And after that, I will hide label and value. Now we can use this CSS here. We'll copy it here. So by changing the QV panel sheet class on the CSS, we can change the background of this page. So let's copy it here. And there we go. I just need to hide this container here somewhere. So let's just leave it like this and hide the title. Let's also change the grid spacing here to narrow. It's a bit better. Okay, now moving on here to the next step. Let's create a master item using the severity dimension. So creating here, let's grab that severity here, create it, and then we come back to edit because we can assign colors to the values. So editing here, we come here to the value colors, and as we saw, 1 is low impact on traffic and 4 is heavy impact on traffic. So let's make it like a green to red scale. So let's grab here some colors in the palette. And now if we add here the severity column, we're going to see the bars like that, but we can use them, we can change the view here to a stacked bar chart. So in this case, we have 2 informations in the same chart. So now let's just change the color here with those colors that we just assigned. So now that's much better. We can see here, for example, that the severity of the accidents across time. Let's just customize it a little bit more with the styling options here. So value labels on. We can remove the mini chart that sometimes is here, but let's just leave it like that. Grid spacing. We can create the same chart for cities, right? So instead of month year, we can use here the city column. It's not correctly sorted, so let's sort it by the number of accidents. So sorting by the count, distinct count of IDs. But descending, no. That's much better. So now if I click here in Sacramento, for example, on the map, we're going to see each one of these points, right? And also by clicking here, we can change the legend of this map. So on the layer, let's go here on colors and change it by dimension using the severity that we just assigned. Using the library colors, now we have the same legend for the three charts. And let's just do the same, but using a state, view, and city. Let's create a new chart here. Two new charts, actually. First one, let's create a heat map chart. Heat map, right? And by using here the density layer. So let's add here this layer with the same columns that we have on the top map. So using here coordinates. Now we have a heat map here with hot areas. Let's just change it, the max visible objects to 50,000. And this is very important. So let's count how many accidents we have in our current selections. We have here the number of accidents. Right now we have 45,000 accidents. But if I remove California here, well, actually it's not gonna be greater than 50,000 because we have limited it on the load scripter, load editor. But in case we had limited the points on the map to 30,000, for example, we would not be looking at the whole picture of the dashboard, right? There would be an incomplete visualization on the map. So what we can do is to create an expression here on the maps with a condition. So basically on this layer, we have this option here. Where is it? Layer display. So calculation condition. So if the distinct count of IDs is greater than, let's say 30,000, do not show the map for us. No, actually show the map for us. Otherwise, if it's the opposite, do not show us. Because with this, we prevent from looking at wrong data, right? So let's just stick with that, and now I will speed up the video to make it a little faster. I will add now a new chart here with the hours, the number of accidents per hour. So using the function in our field here, our chart function, the hour of our start time, and counting the number of IDs, the number of accidents, we can see here when we have a peak. So in our selection here, in our in our limited load, we have like more accidents around 10 and 11 a.m. and this is how it's distributed across time. So my computer took 2 minutes, 2 minutes and 20 seconds to load the entire data set. And now we can have an overview. So there are 3.5 million records here, as it was mentioned. And we can filter down here just the more severe accidents, for example, or we can filter by state. Let's take it here, for example, 2019 first. And let's see here one. Let's take California as an example, and then we can have Los Angeles here on the map. So here on the heat map we can see the hot zones, and on our point map we can also one thing that we missed, it was to add it here. Let's add it and change in this point layer. We can add a tooltip. So this tooltip here, let's set it to custom. Let's hide the basic one and let's insert a description. And no, description is fine. And here, because we have the description column, so now each one of them has a new. So by hovering the mouse here, we can also select. Let's take here, for example, the severe ones. We can see it on the heat map. So on this area we have more severe accidents. So I will take the lasso selection, select just this area here and zoom in. We can see this highway. So by hovering the mouse on each point, we can see its description. Let's take, for example, New York. And New York City. So we can see that most accidents occurred in the morning, and there is a very hot zone here on this bridge, right? So let's take a closer look here. So many accidents here on this bridge. So this is one of the insights that we could have and analyze what's happening here. If there should be a traffic sign or something like that. So this is the kind of thing, the kind of analysis that would be interesting to do with geoanalysis. Qlik has also a new functionality that is this animator. So let's just show it how it works. It's pretty cool. So on the dashboard bundle here, by adding this animator, we can add a field. Let's add the dimension. We have the month year here. We also need to sort it correctly. So we have here April 2019, but we want actually January. So with that, we can look at, for example, on the heat map and see how it behaved across the time. So it's going to filter first January, February, and so on, but on one by one, right? So by clicking here on the play button, this will start to apply the filters here automatically. But on the map, we can see how it moved. So there is actually an evidence that on that bridge something is wrong, or it's just too much traffic, right? But it is where we have more accidents. Well, that's it for this video. Let me know if you like it and if you have any comments, okay? Thanks for watching.